All right, welcome, Tyler. This is Tyler Wood from CMT. So welcome. Thank you for taking time out of your day today to join me.
Thank you, Jane. It's a pleasure to be here. Great to talk to you again. It's been a while.
I know. We first met at the Trade Ideas Summit this past October out in San Diego. Always a great event.
Correct.
And
Slightly different conditions today in upstate New York than there were in San Diego this fall.
just a little. Same in Canada right now, too. We've got about a foot of snow on the ground.
Yeah.
And it was great to hear even more about the CMT program because I know 2 years ago I met JC Peretz and he had opened my eyes to CMTs overall. So it was great to actually hear the presentation where I could hear a lot more about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy. That's what I do for a living these days. So I'm the managing director for global business development for the CMT Association. Have been working with them for about the last 10 years, and it's a really exciting time to be talking to the investment public about what technical analysis can do for their process and how we can help advocate for CMT charter holders around the world.
Yeah, I know I first got into the industry back in 2000, and I was an assistant to 4 different brokers. I went through, I got my Series 7, didn't go past, going and get my 63, all that sort of stuff, because there was the WorldCom and the dot-com bubble sort of just imploded. So I went on to culinary school, followed another path, and then came back to the financial world. But the CMT really looked like something that I would have liked to know about way back then. I was fresh, 2 years out of college, wanted to be in the industry, but not necessarily dealing as a broker, dealing with other people's money, or being a CFA. So I love the idea. So can you just tell me a little bit more about the history of the CMT program?
Absolutely, Jade. It started almost 50 years ago, the late 1960s, and just like you and I are talking, or the conversation you had with JC Peretz, there's a thirst for knowledge, particularly for folks who are entering the industry, they're aspiring professionals. And we happen to have two co-founders for what was then the Market Technicians Association. And these young guys, they were in their mid-20s, and they stood in line waiting for point and figure charts every morning to bring back to their respective firms. John Brooks and Ralph Acampora became very, very close friends, and they were both really accomplished technical analysts. So they got together pretty regularly with this group called the New York Society of Securities Analysts. That's now CFA New York. And that was where corporate execs would come to meet Wall Street analysts and talk about what was happening inside their company. And at the end of each of these luncheons, people would break off into their sector groups. So you'd have chemical analysts, you'd have automotive analysts, and they all had a private room. And the technical analysts were kind of left in the lobby. And Ralph and John said, well, where's the spot for the technical analysts? And sure enough, amongst the fundamental community on Wall Street, there was very little room. And we can talk for days about the banking industry and certain biases. And I think technical research analysts, because they are looking specifically at price, they're less biased by banking deals and some other things. They have butted heads over the years, and the industry loves to pit fundamentals against technicals, when in truth, they are used in conjunction all the time. So the demographics of our organization, the makeup of who our members are, have changed really drastically. So you fast forward from the early 1970s, where it was basically just New York sell-side analysts, and then shortly thereafter, Boston had a buy-side community of PMs. Now it is worldwide. We're in 117 countries. And the organization exists to advance the discipline of technical analysis, which means we get involved in a lot of different aspects of educational programming. We do a lot of conferences and events, but we also advocate on behalf of our members. So I spend a lot of time talking to broker-dealers, mutual fund complexes, other professional firms to talk about the value of hiring CMT charter holders or of bringing their current employees through the program for additional education, better risk management, improved investment discipline. So it's been a very exciting ride. And interesting to hear that you were sort of entering the industry after the dot-com bubble. We've always found that the CMT Association has very rapid growth following those titanic events in the market. So 2001 and then 2008 and 9, that was really where a lot of professionals came back to the understanding that maybe they didn't have the secret sauce, that there was something else they needed in their toolkit to help understand when trends were coming to an end, to understand that there is intrinsic value to securities. Maybe their fundamental discipline helps them pick securities, but having a technical toolkit along with that can help them understand where they need to be managing risk, what to sell out of the portfolio, and why. So we had a huge influx of folks who were late stage in their careers, 15, 20 years in the industry, that were coming back and seeking additional education, another skill set to really help them understand when the next big downfall might be coming.
Yeah, and definitely, that's all over the news nowadays. Oh, the impending doom that is coming. And I just saw NBC tweets that made me think, maybe we really are at the top, because CNBC is just now saying, you know what, this bull market cannot stop. It's just going to go on. And I was like, yeah, there's that euphoric state where they're going to suck everybody in and boom, we'll see.
That's right.
When the news is saying it can't stop, it can't stop. It's just like 2 years ago in December when they were saying, oh, this is the worst, it's going to go down. And then whoop, that's when we rebounded.
That's the danger, right? 10 years, this has been the most hated rally in history. And then when everybody does change their tune and start talking in extremely optimistic fashion, then that's the time to get out.
Yeah, we shall see. We shall see how soon that happens from today. Today is January 20th, by the way, guys, if you do not know. So we'll see how far we go from here. But, you talk a lot about the CMT and what it can bring to people. And I know I looked at it online because I work from home. It's something that I've thought about getting for my own knowledge base, but also potentially doing consulting as well. And I saw there's really 3 different levels of the CMT training, right? But it looked like you can potentially do a self-study to bypass level 1. Is that even correct?
So the CMT program is a 3-part exam process. So each level has its own core customized curriculum. You can get all of the official curriculum from Wiley Publishing. So the CMT Association is sort of the author. They publish the materials for us. And you do actually need to take all 3 levels of the exam to become a CMT charter holder. We did start a partnership with the CFA Institute just a couple of years ago. We mapped our curriculum against everything that was covered of the 3 levels of the CFA. And for those who are CFA charter holders, you can start at level 2 on the CMT program. So it's part of the CFA Institute's Stackable Credentials Initiative. But really for everyone in the industry, it's 3 levels, and they are self-study. So one common thought is, I'll go to the CMT Association, they'll teach me how to trade. And we are the global credentialing body, and we have members all over the world who some engage in that kind of mentorship and training, but for the most part, candidates are on a self-study path. We do offer a charting package for everybody who enters the program. We recognize that learning technical analysis is easiest once you roll up your sleeves and you actually get your hands on some of the tools and you start really understanding how the market moves and how that price behavior can change. So Optima charting is available for free to candidates who are in the program. And I believe Optima also offers a level 1, 2, and 3 sort of study course or preparatory materials for those who are looking for a little more mentorship through the study process. But yeah.
Very nice. Now, I know when I got my Series 7, goodness, now it's 20 years ago, that really the pass rate was less than 50% for the first go around. Do you guys find that people tend to go right through it? It looked like it's roughly like 18 months for the whole program. Is it the type of scenario where people can accomplish this in a good 18 months? They're not stuck on a certain level, or you find that it's like 75% pass for level 1, 50 for level 2, and I don't know, 45 for level 3?
Great question. So we know that every candidate, every learner is going to have a little different life experience. So there's no time limit on taking the exams. If you started with the level 1 exam this June, you might take a break for 5 years and have a career change or a family life change, and you can come right back at level 2 when you return. But a lot of candidates do move through the program very quickly, and we know that that's really important, particularly when you're looking for those three-letter financial designations after your name, you're applying to jobs, and that is really important, particularly for some of those recent graduates. We do have some academic partner programs. A lot of schools participate and teach some technical analysis at the undergrad or graduate level. So for those students, they definitely want to get those CMT letters after the name as quickly as possible. So 3 levels, we offer both in June and in December, all 3 levels of the exam, so you don't have to wait a year between taking your tests. You could finish in as quickly as 18 months, level 1 in June, level 2 in December, level 3 next June. But a lot of candidates take a little bit longer. They stretch it out. And as far as pass rates go, we're tracking a 5-year trailing average. Level 1 is in the high 60s, 68%. Level 2 drops down to about a 65% pass rate. And level 3, which had historically been the lowest pass rate of all 3 exams, partly because of the structural differences to the test, that actually had a 73% pass rate this last exam period. And we attribute that to two factors. One, I think candidates are much better prepared than in years past. We've restructured the curriculum. There are much better preparatory tools. The learning outcome statements tell you exactly what you need to master in the candidate body of knowledge before you get to the exam center. And then the other factor is that this was the first year that we had a cohort of those CFA charter holders that had finished level 2 and were moving through level 3. Interestingly, their scores on the exam were really right in line with the averages with the rest of the global CMT candidate network. They were a couple of points ahead, which was enough to get them over the finish line and increase that pass rate. But we know that comes from just being very avid test takers. They've been through a really high stakes exam before. So for most candidates, they're going to finish within 2.5 years. You can do it in as quickly as 12 months, finish the very next year after you start. But it's really up to each person and how it fits with their career and their family life.
Definitely. And do you find that the demographics, like I'm a woman in the trading world as a female day trader, and when I first came into it, there were not that many women that I saw that were out there that were really trying to help others. And do you find that it's the same scenario? I mean, I'd say it's probably about 10% female day traders that are out there that are sharing, whereas the men, they're just abundant, they're everywhere.
Sure. Yeah. Representation in the financial services industry has been an issue as long as I've been involved, and certainly much longer than my career. And we experience that too within the CMT Association. I think our female charter holders are right around 9%. So we're a little ahead of the industry average for financial services, traders, portfolio management, and research analysts. I know it skews a little higher. The gender equity gap is a little tighter in the financial planning or financial advisory space. And we are growing quite significantly within those independent registered investment advisories. The RIAs are just a classification for the US, but they're wealth managers who have discretion over what funds they're investing for their clients. So we see a lot more female participation within the CMT community at large. And certainly we take that initiative very seriously. It's not just lip service. In terms of our board representation, we try to get a much stronger representation, and we've actually started a Women in Technical Analysis. I say we. There are several very dedicated mentors and leaders, female leaders of the association, who've made that a real clear point that they want to help advocate for young women in finance, bring along some of those aspiring career professionals. And interestingly, I think the national averages have certainly come up, but when you look at finance in the 70s, that was definitely an old boys club. And I think to the testament of our co-founders and the way that the organization really got started, we have always had females on the board of directors. We've had several female presidents. You'll look to Louise Yamada or Gail Dudak. Katie Stockton was a longtime member of our board. You'll find their research out there and frequent guests on all of the major news outlets. So it's not something new that we're addressing. It's something that's always been part of the fabric of the organization.
Very nice. And I know you guys have your big event coming up in April, which I'm looking to attend. I'm very excited. I
It's gonna be
missed it
good.
last year. It just didn't work with planning. I found out 2 weeks before and I just couldn't change everything. But really looking
Oh,
forward to it this year. And tell me a
yeah.
little bit more about that. When is it and how do people register?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for asking. So it's a near and dear to my heart. It's a labor of love to put on a global investment conference, and we have just tremendous volunteers that put in countless hours. So the annual CMT Symposium, this is going to be our 47th event. It's going to be in New York City on April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And it really is the best opportunity to come together with money managers, research analysts, securities traders. You've got a lot of strategists, ETF providers that are putting in a tactical overlay using the technical input. So it's a very diverse cross-section of the industry. 2.5 days, and we'll have about 30 speakers covering every gamut of the behavioral finance, the quantitative applications and methods, traditional sort of sell-side macro research analysts, as well as a lot of fund managers talking about sort of how they approach the markets. So it's going to be in Lower Manhattan, which for everybody who comes in and out of Midtown and never makes it down to historic Lower Manhattan, I highly encourage you come check out this conference and spend a little time seeing where Wall Street started. Our offices are right at 25 Broadway, so right in front of the Charging Bull, and the conference is going to be just down the street at Convene Conference Center's 32 Old Slip. So there's a ton more information if you go to cmtassociation.org/symposium, or you can just check out our events page. That's got all of the speakers listed, a couple of the past year's agendas, as well as some video footage from last year. So we encourage everybody to come check it out.
Awesome, Tyler. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you again there, and maybe I'll see you in Philly in July if you're not traveling around the world. But yeah, love to see you at the Modern Trader Summit too in July. That would be awesome.
That would be
you
wonderful.
Down there, speaking to other traders as well. That's the whole reason why I do it as well, is to organize and bring people together. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Well, thank you so much, Tyler. Thank you for taking time out of your day today to help enlighten others on the CMT and me as well about the symposium. I can't wait.
Of course, Jane. Thank you so much for your time. And yes, I will see you in a couple of months.
Awesome. See you then. Thank you, Tyler.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.